date to correct myself, to correct myself. The Secret Service officials confirmed that the second would be the leader of Trump's was not able to send shots at DJT. Thought uh, I thought he was able to at first, but I I too quickly said that he was able to. So my apologies. So my apologies. My apologies. My apologies. Yes. The Secret Service officials confirmed that he did not send shots at DJT. He was not able to get shots off. The Secret Service the Secret Service agents sent shots at Routh, but they missed. The would be the leader fled the scene in a black Nissan SUV. Then later got arrested. He fled in a black Nissan SUV. Then later got arrested. Facts. It is great that he got taken into custody. Yes. He does not need to be on the streets ever again. He does not need to be on the streets ever again. He does not need to be on the streets ever again. He does not. He does not need to be on the streets ever again. That dude does not need to be on the streets ever again. He had, they said he had, they said that he had more than one backpack. He had more than one backpack. He had he had a GoPro. He had a scope. A scope is used for aiming, and the scope is used for aiming and increasing the precision of the shot. It is used to aim at a target. The scope is used to aim at a target. A scope is used to aim at a target. Facts. They said he had uh, food too. They said they they stated that he had food too. Yo, crazy, bro. Crazy. It is crazy that he was close to where DJT was playing golf. Close to where DJT was playing golf. It is indubitably it is indubitably it is indubitably crazy that he was close to where DJT was playing golf. It is indubitably crazy that he was close to where DJT was playing golf. It is indubitably crazy that he was close to where DJT was playing golf.
Apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance continue to make baseless.
The perimeter.
Unity type moment, but I think it's probably going to be pretty fleeting as we've seen in the past.
All right, guys, so we got to follow up on the bombshell story of today, which is the second failed assassination attempt on President Trump within the last 2 months.
Sad.
Yes, a few
Sad.
details about what happened as the story continues to evolve and to change. Because initially it was reported that the would-be assassin, who apparently got access to Trump's golf course via a fence surrounding the perimeter, was in a shootout with somebody else, right? This was the initial counter reports, okay? And then after that, it involved 2 reports that the shooter had shot at former President Trump as he was golfing, and then the Secret Service fired back, and then
he was alone. He went by his dolo. He went to the course. He went to the course by his dolo. Solo, bro. Solo.
The shooter had shot at former President Trump as he was golfing, and then the Secret Service fired back, and then the shooter ran away until now these initial counter reports, okay, and then after that it involved 2 reports that the shooter had shot at former President Trump as he was golfing, and then the Secret Service fired back, and then the shooter ran away until they eventually caught him. And now the story allegedly is that the shooter never actually really fired a shot. It was the Secret Service that engaged him first after spotting the gunman as they were kind of inspecting the holes
in
ahead of Trump,
the
basically
bushes.
doing their rounds, trying to make sure that everything is good to go. And they spotted the shooter and ended up engaging first, and that's when the shooter ran away. Now, here's the thing. I do not trust the story that is coming out from law enforcement, at least not initially, the Secret Service. And the reason why is because they have all the incentive in the world to say that the shooter didn't actually shoot at Trump, even though there were reports that he did. But I don't know. Okay, I'm just saying that I'm skeptical as of right now because they are trying to take the heat off themselves, considering how they allowed another not trust the story that is coming out from law enforcement, at least not initially, the Secret Service. And the reason why is because they have all the incentive in the world to say that the shooter didn't actually shoot at Trump, even though
It is possible that what BCP is saying is the case. It is truly possible, truly possible that that is the case. It is truly possible that that is the case. We will see. Hope that it is not the case that the Secret Service agents are capping, but we will see. It is truly meant to say hope the Secret Service agents are not capping. Hope they are not capping, but we will we will see. Hope they are not capping. Hope they are not capping. Hope they are not capping. Hope they are not capping, but we will see. We will see.
not trust the story that is coming out from law enforcement, at least not initially, the Secret Service. And the reason why is because they have all the incentive in the world to say that the shooter didn't actually shoot at Trump, even though there were reports that he did. But I don't know. Okay, I'm just saying that I'm skeptical as of right now because they are trying to take the heat off themselves, considering how they allowed another assassin just 2 months earlier to shoot at the former president, right? So I think that the reports surrounding who shot first, I think these reports changing indicate that maybe, just maybe, there could be some type of cover up already going on, okay?
Could be.
Again, considering how the Secret Service is facing a lot of scrutiny for allowing another assassin
Crooks
to take a shot at Trump before, right? So in this scenario,
shoot the ear of DJT, bro. Almost doming DJT, bro. Crazy. Crazy.
for allowing another assassin to take a shot at Trump before, right? So in this scenario, I find it to be extremely strange how the story is changing in regards to who shot first, whether or not Trump was actually shot at. But regardless, they are acknowledging it was an attempted assassination, okay? And for allowing another assassin to take a shot at Trump before, right? So in this scenario, I find it to be extremely strange how the story is changing in regards to who shot first, whether or not Trump was actually shot at. But regardless, they are acknowledging it was an attempted assassination, okay? And despite the acknowledgement that this was an attempted assassination, you have MSNBC doing what MSNBC does, which is to basically try to blame Trump, okay, for the attempts on his life, and to also say things like, for example, that Trump should just stop golfing, right? And that the Secret Service should not extend resources to help Trump because the Secret Service basically acknowledged that, hey, it's hard to give Trump the full protection because he's not president of the United States, which, in my opinion, I think is kind of crazy considering how
Yeah.
Trump is a former president and he is currently running for president.
Word.
I don't think that it could be understated the gravity of this here. We're talking about 2 attempted assassination attempts. We know from our conversations with people, voters, Americans on the ground, that there are fears of violence, further violence in the country, and where is the United States heading here? We have heard talk of potential civil war. We have
Crazy.
watched January 6th unfold and the willingness of thousands of individuals to go and attack police officers. We have watched members of Congress be shot at. We have watched now a former president of the United States, apparently 2 attempted assassinations. And it is a cause for alarm and concern. We saw in the immediate aftermath of the Butler, Pennsylvania attack, Donald Trump went to the Republican National Convention. And I think at least his tenor was more solemn, a little bit more retrospective. That quickly changed, and you could say that more so than ever, the rhetoric, the divisiveness of our politics today is intense. And
So it's an inevitable sit down with
certain people in both camps. Both camps are engaging in the nasty rhetoric. Both certain people, certain people in both camps are engaging in nasty rhetoric. Certain people in both camps, certain people in both camps are engaging in nasty rhetoric. Certain people in both camps are engaging in nasty rhetoric, and it must cease.
protectees.
of our politics today is intense. And
So it's an inevitable sit down with protectees across the Secret Service spectrum about open air events. This is going to happen. I guarantee you. The question I can't answer right now is whether each protectee is going to go with the program. In other words, will Donald Trump, if encouraged by the Secret Service to stop golfing, or to change golf courses, or do something that's far more protected? Will he abide by that? I think in these remaining weeks, I would take the advice of security professionals, whatever they say, but we're already living in a society where our nominees, our vice presidential nominees, are speaking from behind bullet-resistant glass and open-air rallies.
Crazy,
How
bro.
far can this go? How far can we fund
It should
the Secret Service
not
to
have people who are running for POTUS should not have to speak behind glass, bro. It is nuts. It is nuts. It is truly nuts. Truly nuts.
the security professionals, whatever they say, but we're already living in a society where our nominees, our vice presidential nominees, are speaking from behind bullet-resistant glass and open-air rallies. How far can this go? How far can we fund, if at all, the Secret Service to put numerous drones up to see
Sending good energy to the Trump family. The Trump family. The Trump family.
Where do you put your perimeter? How many agents, how many police officers move a perimeter out? We're already hearing that this concerts, rallies, is this going to become the norm? Where is the perimeter? Because the more you move a perimeter out, we're already rallies. How far can this go? How far can we fund, if at all, the Secret Service to put numerous drones up to see an aerial shot of golf courses, concerts, rallies? Is this going to become the norm? Where is the perimeter? Because the more you move a perimeter out, we're already hearing that this shooter was on the fence line or behind the fence line of the golf course. Where do you put your perimeter? How many agents, how many police officers will you need? Do you need an entire, square acre? Do you need miles of perimeter? And these are questions that almost can't be answered because they're cost prohibitive and resource prohibitive.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that, okay? MSNBC is going full Trump derangement, okay? I mean, we know that they would never, ever, ever suggest that Biden or Kamala Harris needs to tone down their rhetoric in response to an attempted assassination against them, right? Like, could you guys ever imagine MSNBC having a conversation about, well, Kamala needs to tone down her rhetoric because she almost got assassinated. But that's what they're doing with President Trump, right?
They don't. They would not. They would not say that because they have bias to the left. They would not say that because they have true bias. True bias to the left. They would not say that because they have true bias to the left. Crazy.
Kamala needs to tone down her rhetoric because she almost got assassinated. But that's what they're doing with President Trump, right? Instead of talking about how MSNBC should tone down their rhetoric, maybe Democrats should tone down their rhetoric. Maybe they should stop calling Trump President Trump, right? Instead of talking about how MSNBC needs to tone down their rhetoric in response to an attempted assassination against them, right? Like, could you guys ever imagine MSNBC having a conversation about, well, Kamala needs to tone down her rhetoric because she almost got assassinated. But that's what they're doing with President Trump, right? Instead of talking about how MSNBC should tone down their rhetoric, maybe Democrats should tone down their rhetoric. Maybe they should stop calling Trump Hitler and openly platforming individuals that spread hatred towards President Trump. No. They never. Democrats should tone down their rhetoric. Maybe they should stop calling Trump Hitler and openly platforming individuals that
a fascist, a dictator, a fascist. They wrongly, unjustly label DJT a fascist just because they disagree politically. They unjustly label DJT a fascist because they disagree politically. They unjustly, the woke pundits, the truly woke pundits unjustly label DJT a fascist just because they disagree politically. The truly woke pundits, the truly woke pundits, the truly woke pundits, the truly woke pundits unjustly label DJT a fascist just because they disagree politically. Whack.
Democrats should tone down their rhetoric. Maybe they should stop calling Trump Hitler and openly platforming individuals that spread hatred towards President Trump. No. They never have that conversation.
Nope.
Okay? Instead, they want to talk about how it
They
is
suck.
unreasonable. It may be not possible to
They
extend
suck.
enough resources to protect the former president. Okay, as if President Trump shouldn't get the same protections that Joe Biden is getting, right? And that Kamala Harris is getting. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that Kamala Harris is getting better protection. Okay, instead they want to talk about how it is unreasonable and maybe not possible to extend enough resources to protect the former president. Okay, as if President Trump shouldn't get the same protections that Joe Biden is getting, right? And that Kamala Harris is getting. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that Kamala Harris is getting better protection than former President Trump at this point, right? No doubt in my mind. So this conversation about whether or not we have the resources, I think it's kind of silly, because if we have the resources to protect Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, why don't we have the resources to protect former President Trump, right? It doesn't make sense. Again, they would never ask questions like this or have this type of conversation if the roles were reversed. So that is MSNBC, full blown the range.
Facts.
Again, they would never ask questions like this or have this type of conversation
Bozos.
if the roles were reversed. So that is MSNBC, full blown the range, okay, because they really want to avoid talking about the real conversation we should be having, which is about the failed assassin, okay, who has been identified as Ryan Routh. Now, this guy, there's a whole lot of information coming out about him, and it has basically been revealed that this guy has been radicalized, probably by the Democrat Party and outlets like MSNBC, specifically on the subject of Ukraine.
First of all, through our law enforcement sources, we've confirmed that the gunman is a man named Ryan Wesley Routh. That there's a previous charge involving him and a weapon of mass destruction, I believe, from 2022. What more have you been able to learn about this man, Dave?
Brian, good to be with you. He was not on our radar here at the Palm Beach County State Attorney's Office. He's someone who was from North Carolina, had lived in, or maybe even lives now in Hawaii. But he has had some very unusual social media posts, some bizarre posts where he obviously cares very deeply about Ukraine and says that that's good versus evil. You know, it is interesting, someone who can see the difference between good and evil, that Ukraine was fighting for its survival against the tyrannical Putin regime who invaded them. I mean, good versus evil, but at the same time, you can't determine what's good and evil as far as getting an AK-47 style rifle and trying to kill someone, trying to murder someone. That is, to me, how bizarre this is. Like, it doesn't make sense. You understand the difference between good and evil here, but not over here. And to think that somehow he was going to help Ukraine by assassinating former President Trump, the whole thing is bizarre. But then again, you know, people who are totally normal don't try to commit these types of crimes. That doesn't mean he's legally insane, by the way. The fact that he fled, the fact that he ran off, and thankfully we had a good Samaritan who was able to identify him. We knew what kind of car he was driving. But the fact that he drove off tells you he knew the difference between right and wrong, and that's why it'll be hard for him to have an insanity defense. So this guy is facing a whole lot of hurt right now.
Yeah, so you've seen that, you heard that. Now, this guy was convicted of possessing a weapon of mass destruction in 2002, and when it comes to the Ukraine stuff, that is when it kind of gets very weird, okay, because this guy apparently was very passionate about the war in Ukraine and Ukraine beating Russia, to the point where he is seen in a lot of videos online that are circulating of him recruiting people to actively go and fight in this war in Ukraine, for Ukraine, because he believes that it is a fight of good and evil. Now, where did he get that from? Where did he get all this stuff from? Well, it's obvious where he got it from, and you're going to see that as we go over some of the information that has been found about him online and some of his social media posts. This guy was a radical, right? He was radicalized by the left. Now, the left is going to try to run some spin here, because apparently this guy supported Trump in 2016, but after Trump became president, he went full-blown Trump rage, okay? And he basically started openly supporting Democrats, okay? And basically his whole thing has been anti-Trump, okay, to the point where he advocated for Nikki Haley and Vivek Ramaswamy to combine, to join teams and to try to take down Trump in the primary. This dude just wanted Trump out of office, and clearly he sees Trump as a threat to Ukraine. Well, why? Because Kamala Harris and the Democrats claim that Trump is going to allow Putin to take over Ukraine, and if you think that, you know, this is a battle of good and evil, and you believe that Trump is going to allow evil to win, and that Trump is evil himself, right, then it kind of makes sense in regards
Crazy
to
labels.
a motive here. Again, where is he
Crazy
getting all this from? Why would he believe
labels.
all this stuff? Well, it's because he was radicalized, and I think it's going to be obvious here as we read
Execrable.
through this article on the New York Post. So let's get into it. The alleged gunman, who authorities say targeted former President Trump while golfing in Florida Sunday afternoon, previously declared on social media that, quote, democracy is on the ballot this year, and, quote, we cannot lose, echoing the anti-Trump rhetoric used by Vice President Kamala Harris and President Biden. Interesting. Democracy is on the ballot. Now, who says that? Who screams and shouts things like that on a daily basis? Democrats, MSNBC, CNN,
Yep.
all of the liberal media. Okay. Law enforcement sources identified the suspect as Ryan Wesley Routh,
Wokies.
Routh, who has a lengthy criminal record from North Carolina, frequently
Crazy.
posted about politics and exclusively donated to Democratic candidates and causes dating back to 2019. He also bashed Trump in an April 22nd post on X in which he declared democracy is on the ballot and we cannot lose.
Yeah. You know, this
Polyglamorous.
is
Over 80
insane,
products and
bro.
tools to dabble, tease, fluff, flex, shine, zhuzh, and play.
Unbelievable, bro.
That's the drive our way.
Unbelievable. Yeah, he did the unthinkable. He did the unthinkable, the unspeakable, the inconceivable. He did. He did. The bloke did the inconceivable.
It's the undated photo.
He did the inconceivable. He did the inconceivable. The bloke did the inconceivable. He did the inconceivable. The inconceivable.
Democracy is on the ballot and we cannot lose. So this is him, okay? It's an undated photo. I guess you can call this white views for Harris. Okay, I think this is the perfect summary of how you can describe that group of people, right? It's white views for Harris right here. Don't get it twisted. They're going to try to spin this and try to say, well, he was a Republican, he voted for Trump in 2016. Again, just like the last guy, you got to look at the details, and you can see this guy clearly was very anti-Trump. He was very Trump deranged. He was radicalized by the left, no doubt. He advised Biden, 81, in an April 22nd X post when he was article on the New York Post. So let's get into it. The alleged gunman, who authorities, CNN, all of the liberal media, okay, law enforcement sources identified the suspect as Ryan Wesley Routh, 58, Routh, who has a lengthy criminal record from North Carolina, frequently posted about politics and exclusively donated to Democratic candidates and called this dating back to 2019. He also bashed Trump in an April 22nd post on X in which he declared democracy is on the ballot and we cannot lose. So this is him, okay? This is an undated photo. I guess you can call this white views for Harris. Okay, I think this is the perfect summary of how you could describe, right? White views for Harris right here. Don't get it twisted. They're going to try to spin this and try to say, well, he was a Republican, he voted for Trump in 2016. Again,
they said he was in the bushes. Or they said he was near the course for 12 hours, bro. Yo. Nobody saw, nobody spotted, nobody spotted the bloke at any mark at any hour, bro, that is strange. Yo, bro, bro, yeah. Yeah, he should not have been in the bushes for that long, bro. Like how was he able to be close to the course for that long? How what how 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 was the bloke able to be close to the course for that long? Yo, that is strange, and certain certain people have to own up to not doing anything be, uh, in the 12-hour window. It's certain people must own up to the failure to do something in the 12-hour window.
White dudes for Harris right here. Don't get it twisted. They're going to try to spin this.
And
well, he was a Republican,
answer
2016. Again,
the questions.
exclusively donated to Democratic candidates and causes dating back to 2019. He also bashed Trump in an April 22nd post on X in which he declared democracy is on the ballot and we cannot lose. So this is him, okay? This is an undated photo. I guess you can call this Harris. Okay, I think this is the perfect summary of how you could describe that group of people, right? White dudes for Harris right here. Don't get it twisted. They're going to try to spin this and try to say, well, he was a Republican, he voted for Trump in 2016. Again, just like the last guy, you got to look at the details, and you can see this guy clearly was very anti-Trump. He was very Trump deranged. He was radicalized by the left, no doubt. He advised Biden, 81, in an April 22nd X post when he was still running for re-election to run a campaign around keeping America democratic and free, aka keeping America under Democrat Party control. And this guy was a supporter of the Democrat Party, don't get it twisted. He claimed Trump wants to, quote, make Americans slaves against master. Quote, democracy on the ballot and we cannot lose. He wrote a similar slogan commonly used by President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. We cannot afford to fail. Routh continued. The world is counting on us to show the way. This is similar language that Harris continues to
brainwashed
on August 29th. She said at a rally in Savannah, Georgia, we are fighting for our democracy. On July 31st, he said at an event in Houston that our freedoms are on the ballot and so is our democracy, after using identical wording at a sorority event the same day. Tom Fitton, president of the conservative legal group Judicial Watch, told the Post, quote, it is no coincidence that Routh repeated Kamala's and Joe's extreme rhetoric against Trump. At this point, it is an excusable indictment. Yeah, it really is. I think it's clear and obvious what's going on here. Spokespeople for Biden and Harris did not immediately respond to requests for comment. I highly doubt they're going to come out here and really condemn it. Right? They might one time, and then they'll move on and pretend like nothing happened.
Crazy.
Just like the rest of the media. And considering the circumstances of the last attempted assassination on Trump and the fact that inexplicably, the Secret Service allowed a guy close enough to try to assassinate the former president. I mean, even though he was clearly in a spot that the Secret Service should have had on lockdown.
Yeah.
And now you have
Facts.
this happening. This guy got within 300, 500
Yards.
yards of President Trump as he's golfing.
Yards.
Yeah, I got a whole lot of questions, okay? The same way that I had a whole lot of questions about the last failed assassination attempt. Something strange is going on with the Secret Service. I don't think that Trump can trust the Secret Service or any federal law.
It is indubitably great that DJT did not get struck. But the Secret Service agents still could and should have done better. They still could and should have done better. Words.
Last failed assassination attempt. Something strange is going on with the Secret Service. I don't think that Trump can trust the Secret Service or any federal law enforcement to protect him. I think at this point he has last failed assassination attempt. Something strange is going on with the Secret Service. I don't think that Trump can trust the Secret Service or any federal law enforcement to protect him. I think at this I got within 300, 500 yards of President Trump as he's golfing. Yeah, I got a whole lot of questions. Okay? The same way that I had a whole lot of questions about the last failed assassination attempt. Something strange is going on with the Secret Service. I don't think that Trump can trust the Secret Service or any federal law enforcement to protect him. I think at this point he has to hire private security, maybe work with the state. I just don't trust Secret Service at this point. This is why I'm not necessarily believing their story that the guy didn't shoot first or he didn't get off the shot, because that's the last thing that they want. Right? The last thing they want is the story that Secret Service allows somebody else to potentially shoot the president, right? To get off the shot. Yeah, I'm not believing anything that comes from them at this point. So let's scroll down here. Routh champion money for Democrats running for office in local colleges in 2019. Between September of that year and March 2020, he contributed more than $140 toward the Democratic fundraising platform at Blue Federal Election Commission filings show. Yeah, so this is similar to the last would-be Trump assassin that also contributed to Democrats as well too, right? So these people are overtly Democrat Party supporters. They're sending money to Democrats, okay, because they support Democrats. Again, don't let the left try to twist the story into something that it's not, okay? The record did not list an employer. His LinkedIn shows that he attended North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, but relocated to Hawaii sometime around 2018. Routh describes himself on LinkedIn as mechanically minded and enjoying ideas and invention and creative projects with artistic flair. Routh was spotted by Secret Service agents near the Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach with a Soviet-style SKS assault rifle, according to sources. The agents opened fire on him, but he fled. Routh was later arrested on I-95 by local police. His social media account was also filled with nonsensical tweets and replies, while also voicing strong support for Ukraine in its war against Russia and Taiwan in its struggle against China. One reply to X's owner, Elon Musk, seemed to entertain purchasing a rocket from the billionaire. Quote, "I would like to buy a rocket from you. I wish to load it with a warhead or Putin's Black Sea Mansion bunker to end him. Can you please give me a price? It can be old and used as not returning." Routh wrote. Yeah, so again, this guy clearly hates Putin, okay, to the point where he is asking Elon Musk to purchase rockets. Again, this is nonsensical. It doesn't even make any sense. It really shows you how deranged this individual was, how radicalized he is. He claimed on X that he tried to sell the idea of having former Afghanistan troopers fight for Ukraine and Russia, but was denied multiple times before giving up after 6 months. He also said he visited Kiev and claimed that he would be willing to fight on the front lines if he were permitted to. Routh was a supporter of Vivek Ramaswamy and Nikki Haley, according to one of his posts, in which he encouraged the Republican presidential candidates to continue their races. You cannot quit. Why? You must stay on the ballot to the end. You must fight. You must continue giving speeches and push all the way to election day, no matter the election results. do not give in, join Nikki, and keep working, never give up, he wrote to Ramaswamy. Yeah, so I don't understand why he would be supporting Ramaswamy, because Vivek Ramaswamy is definitely not pro-Ukraine, right? I think he's pretty similar to Trump in regards to foreign policy.
Word.
But Nikki is very pro-Ukraine, right?
Yes.
So maybe his whole thing was that, well,
A war hawk. She is a true war hawk. Nikki is a true war hawk. A true war hawk. Vivek is the opposite. Vivek is the opposite. He's the opposite.
he's pretty similar to Trump in regards to
Opposite.
foreign policy. But Nikki is very pro-Ukraine, right?
U.S.
So maybe his whole thing was
first
that, well, we just need a GOP ticket to take that.
Is what Vivek supports. U.S. first. U.S. first. U.S. first.
He's pretty similar to Trump in regards to foreign policy. But Nikki is very pro-Ukraine, right? So maybe his whole thing was that, well, we just need a GOP ticket to take down Trump, and then we'll deal with, you know, the rest of the stuff, okay? Maybe that was his approach. I'm not sure. I wouldn't call him a Vivek Ramaswamy supporter, okay? I would call him a supporter of the Democrat Party. He was a supporter of the establishment. He was a supporter of the agenda in regards to helping Ukraine fight against Russia. He was a supporter of these things, right? And he hated Trump. He was very Trump deranged. For the mainstream liberal media, at best, he was a never Trump, which still does not relieve the mainstream liberal media and the Democrat Party of responsibility, because as we've seen, the never Trumpers like Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, they're voting for Democrats, right? They're supporting Democrats, okay? They're all on the same team. The never Trumpers like Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, they're voting for Democrats, right? They're supporting Democrats.
They endorse Kamala, correct? Cheney, he endorses Kamala, correct? He endorses Kamala, correct? He endorses Kamala, correct?
Okay, they're all on the same team. So again, they'll try to play this game and say, oh, he voted for Trump in 2016. Oh, he was a Republican. Okay, again, if you get into the details, it's clear. He was Trump deranged, radicalized by the media, by Democrats against Trump, because he believes that Trump is a threat to democracy and that democracy's on the line.
Woke.
And he was a supporter of Joe Biden. He just hated
Sheeple.
Trump, right? And that's just what it was.
A bot.
So at this point, we will get more information
A
about
puppet.
this guy, but it's not looking too good right now for the
puppet.
Democrat. Their rhetoric is out of
A drone.
We will get more information about this guy, but
Word.
not looking too good right. He was Trump deranged, radicalized by the media, by Democrats against Trump, because he believes that Trump is a threat to democracy and that democracy's on the line. And he was a supporter of Joe Biden. He just hated
Sleepy
Trump,
Joe.
right? And that's just what it was. So at this point, we will get more information about this guy, but it's not looking too good right now for the Democrats. Their
Word.
rhetoric is out of control. MSNBC's rhetoric is out of control. CNN's rhetoric is out of control. And we're continuing to see the consequences of the out of control rhetoric from the left in this country. Like I've told you guys before, and I'll tell you guys again, their rhetoric has caused more political violence in this country than we've ever seen, right? We've never seen anything like this before, and it's coming from the left. It's overwhelmingly been done by Trump deranged left-wing extremists.
Wokies.
And here we have another one here acting out after being brainwashed,
Words.
continuing to see the consequences of the out of control rhetoric from the left. And he just hated Trump, right? And that's just what it was. So at this point, we will get more information about this guy, but it's not looking too good right now for the Democrats. Their rhetoric is out of control. MSNBC's rhetoric is out of control. CNN's rhetoric is out of control.
Hateful.
And we're continuing to see the consequences
Words.
of the out of control rhetoric from the left in this country. Like I've told you guys
Words.
before, and I'll tell you guys again, their rhetoric has caused more political violence in this country than we've ever seen, right? We've never seen anything like this before, and it's coming from the method is overwhelmingly being done by Trump-deranged left-wing extremists. And here we have another one here, acting out after being brainwashed by the Democrats in the mainstream liberal media. So, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, and here we have another one here, acting out after being brainwashed by the Democrats in the mainstream liberal media.
Yep.
So, let me know what you guys think.
It is ugly. Ugly. It is ugly. Word to Nas. Nas has a song. He released a song. Ugly. Yes, he released one of his songs is ugly. Ugly. Yeah. Bro. The goofiness has to cease. It has to cease. If it does not cease, the country will fall. If this does not cease, the country will fall. If, yeah, the goofiness has to cease. If it does not cease, the country will fall. If this does not cease, the country will fall. Word. Peace.